Welcome, everybody, to Youngstown Studio. Our guest will appear this Saturday, July 19th, as part of Northeast Wrestling's Wrestling Under the Stars event at Eastwood Field in Niles. He's a former NWA United States Tag Team Champion. He's a student of the world-famous Team 3D Academy of Professional Wrestling. Please welcome to Youngstown Studio, Wrecking Ball Legursky. Wrecking Ball, how are you?
I'm doing well. I'm just amped up for my match this Saturday with MVP for Northeast.
Nice, brother. Nice. Yeah, man. Talk to me a little bit about that, man. You have a little bit of a history with MVP before, right? You fought him once before?
Yeah, so we wrestled before at Battleground Championship Wrestling at the ECW Arena. It was a hard-hitting matchup. Unfortunately, with his experience, he got the best of me. Hit me with the Shining Wizard, and unfortunately, he beat me.
I got you. What's going to be your approach, I guess, for the second time around here?
Well, I definitely got to watch out for the Shining Wizard. I was a little bit in awe, a little starstruck the first time, and this time I got to, I brought it to him, but I got to bring it to him even more.
Well, taking back to your start in pro wrestling, man, when was pro wrestling something that you knew you wanted to do for a living, and who were some of the big wrestlers, I guess, that you saw that made you want to do it?
Yeah, I probably in elementary school. I grew up a little bit before the Attitude Era and then into the Attitude Era. So my first favorite wrestler ever was Shawn Michaels. Then it evolved into Stone Cold, The Undertaker, The Rock, seeing the Brothers of Destruction, seeing Mankind, seeing all of that. So it was something I always, wanted to do since around elementary school. But back then, I thought I was going to be more like Shawn Michaels, which obviously isn't the case. I'm closer to I'm more influenced by Bam Bam Bigelow and Vader and Hacksaw Jim Duggan too.
Mm-hmm. Nice, man. So you ended up training at the Team 3D Academy of Professional Wrestling, which is for those who don't know, that's Bully Ray's Academy there in Connecticut, right?
Yeah.
So what were your biggest takeaways, I guess, from the academy? What were some of those important things that you learned?
Storytelling, psychology, ring positioning, timing, just you name it. I learned it from him. Probably the single most important thing that I learned from him was how to wrestle like a big man. So there's not a lot of people that look like me anymore in wrestling, and he taught me how to wrestle, to use my size as a strength, how to use my size to my advantage, which, going back 30 seconds before, that's what I'm really going to have to focus on against MVP. I'm going to have to use my size and strength to my advantage and kind of utilize those lessons that Bully Ray taught me for this match.
Mm-hmm. You tweeted out or reposted or retweeted maybe within the last week or so. Somebody posted their Mount Rushmore of pro wrestling's big men. So who would be the four on your Mount Rushmore of pro wrestling big men?
All right, Vader. He's an absolute monster. He can do a moonsault, just relentless. Bam Bam Bigelow, just incredible. Not only is he strong, but he's one of the most athletic big men of all time. And I'm actually friends with his son Shane Bigelow. So he actually he came to the 2300 Arena taping of the Crockett Cup to watch me. Mm-hmm. Earthquake, just an absolute monster. Can throw actually Big Boss Man out there. Mm-hmm. He is very good himself. His agility when he does that thing where he runs around the ring post, that he flies like a cruiserweight when he does that.
Yeah, I just saw recently one of the Saturday Night Main Event clips. One of the most things, and I know one of the moves he was most proud of was taking the superplex off the top of the cage from Hogan. You know what I mean? That was such a crazy bump for a big guy like that.
Oh yeah, I've never taken that. I can't imagine how that felt.
Kind of speaking of big men, as far as who had, I guess, some of the coolest big men moves. I mean, Vader did the moonsault. You know what I mean? I mean, you had the Yokozuna splash. What sort of big man moves really kind of stand out as some of your favorites from over the years?
I like Mark Henry's World's Strongest Slam.
Mm.
That's a move that I've used before. I do like the Boss Man Slam, later adapted as the Black Hole Slam. Abyss kind of added like a little more rotation to it. I've used that. The Vader Bomb off the second rope. Vader and Bam Bam doing the moonsault. I have not done a moonsault yet, but yeah, so Boss Man / Black Hole Slam, World's Strongest Slam, Vader Bomb, Big Splash. Those are all top tier big man moves.
I remember as a kid, like the first like wrestling video game I got was that original WrestleMania Acclaim one that was kind of a crappy game, but Bam Bam Bigelow was on it and you could do the cartwheel and he had like his the big like the kick and stuff he had, which was kind of cool. It was like the only sort of like there were no like real signature moves in the game. That was like the only one that was sort of programmed into the game, but it was cool. It's cool you could do that. And like I said, as you mentioned, Bam Bam Bigelow, one of my favorite big big wrestlers of all time.
Oh, dude, he's one of the best. Wrestling Lawrence Taylor at WrestleMania. The King of the Ring match with Bret Hart. He's tremendous. Just how his work ethic, his athleticism, his power, his psychology, top tier.
Nice bit. So, Wrecking Ball, you first came on my radar wrestling for the NWA and for Billy Corgan. What do you think the NWA is offering that maybe some other promotions out there aren't?
The NWA brings things back to the basics. Wrestling has gone in such extremes with the danger and high flying and the near death moves. NWA just simplifies it. You get a good guy versus a bad guy. You tell a simple story. And in the NWA, you get a chance to get behind the characters. Whereas, I'm not, looking down on any other promotions or any other types of wrestling, but a lot of times in in 2025, people try to outdo the craziness, and there ends up being so much craziness in a match that it all gets lost in the shuffle. If everything is this crazy, high-flying, death-defying, dangerous stunt, well, then nothing really stands out. And what ends up happening is people end up cheering for the moves as opposed to cheering for the wrestler or the character. And I think the NWA truly brings that back, and it's hard hitting, it's physical. There's a lot of big guys on the roster, and I think it's an easily digestible product. And then we're gonna start streaming on the Roku network Tuesday, July 29th, 8 p.m. and replay that 11 p.m. Eastern time. I think it's going to get to a wider audience, and I think it's going to catch on even more.
Nice, man. Yeah, it's cool. I for those that maybe aren't as familiar, so you can get like a Roku player, right? And that'll play through it. But Roku also has an app that you can download and stream from wherever, anything else too. So I'm sure NWA you'll be able to find it on there as well, even if you can't catch it live. But yeah, that's
I have I actually have an Amazon Fire Stick, and you could download it through that. So
nice.
There's no issue. So as long as you have a smart TV or a smartphone, it shouldn't be an issue for you.
Nice, man. Nice. What would you say are some of the biggest? You talked about this a little bit before with your training, but what are some of the biggest keys do you think to wrestling as a big man or as a wrestler of your size?
As a wrestler of size,
Or of your size. I don't mean to. I'm going to offend you.
No, nothing to take offense of. You know, when I do something, I make every single thing I do count. I make every single thing I do matter. You know, like if I was wrestling you, you know, I would have to hit you one time for every 10 times you hit me. You know what I mean? Every move, every slam is more impactful. You have to build generally, unless there's the rare occasion, unless there's someone my size or close to my size, generally have to build up to a bump, and you know, should be a struggle. It should be a process to get me off of my feet, and it should be a big deal when I finally do come off of my feet. Sometimes, you know, in 2025, you know, there's a pressure, you know, for other big guys to try to quote unquote wrestle this newer style and do all this crazy flying and flips and this and that, and it takes away, you know, if you're a big guy trying to wrestle like the little guys, what are the little guys going to do? And then if you're going to wrestle like everyone else, why is there anyone going to choose you over anyone else if you're wrestling like everyone else? So if you're different, be different, stand out. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, for sure. And I remember growing up once of watching wrestling too, dude, Andre the Giant, you know, he wasn't getting slammed or thrown around or doing that. Like, and if he was in like a battle royal, like it was a big deal. Like it took like everybody else to like dump him over the top. You know what I mean? Like he was same thing with like Big John Studd or guys like that. I mean, there was some, like being a big man meant being a big man, and like you had this advantage, and that's I agree with you that it should still be that way.
Yeah, and you know, don't get me wrong. There's a time and place to break out the athleticism, and you know, there's different ways to display your athleticism. Like obviously, you know, Bam Bam Bigelow was good at using his athleticism when it mattered, when it counted. So, same with Vader. You know, they did moonsaults, but when they did them, they mattered, and they still wrestled like big men, you know.
So not only do you wrestle for the NWA, obviously you appear in Northeast Wrestling. You're on the indie circuit quite a bit, and I know you're out and about. I think, as you said before, just about every weekend. But what have been some of the biggest challenges, or what are some of the biggest challenges to to being an independent wrestler in 2025?
For me, it's like always, you know, I'm trying to keep that schedule full. You know, I'm pretty much booked every weekend, sometimes multiple times a weekend. It's a challenge, like to get like all the dates to line up, you know. Sometimes there will be like 2 or 3 or 4 good shows that I could get booked on in one weekend, on one particular Saturday, and then I could only choose one of them. But then the next weekend, there's nothing available. So it's like sometimes you have like 3 or 4 options one day, and then nothing the next weekend. And sometimes it gets harder. Like I usually end up filling up my schedule, but sometimes I end up filling up the schedule. It ends up being harder than it should to fill up the schedule. And, you know, you got to take into account, like, okay, who asked me first? Who's paying the most? What type of spot are they putting me in? How well do I sell merchandise at that place? How much are they going to bring me in the future? Or how many times do they bring me in the future? Can I make those future dates? So there's a lot to like kind of juggle around with.
Yeah, I feel your pain on that, man. I'm in a rock band and stuff, and it's uncanny. Every year there's always at least a couple dates where we get offered 2 really good shows on the same day or whatever, and then you'll have just open weekends or open whatever. You're like, God damn it, why couldn't this be? You know? It's always a pain in the ass. It's crazy how often that happens. So
yeah, and that's so frustrating, and it's like they're either so far away or the times are at the same time that you can't
Mhm.
that you can't double shot them. I mean, every once in a while you can, but like, it's just like,
Yeah.
come on, man.
Right, I got you. So I noticed too. You've tweeted a couple times that you would like to wrestle in Japan, and I think your style would go over great in Japan, whether it would be at in New Japan Pro Wrestling or All Japan. I mean, yeah, I mean, that's something that's got to be on the short term goal list for you.
Oh, absolutely. I'd love to wrestle in Japan. I think I'd fit in very well with it, very well in Japan. You got a history of American Gaijin like doing very well. You got Stan Hansen, you got Vader, you got Terry Gordy, you got Dr. Death. There's a ton of big Americans that like really went over well there, and I think I would definitely continue that. And I think if I go to Japan, it would also raise my stock in America too.
Mm-hmm. Nice, man. Well, Wrecking Ball, once again, everybody, Wrecking Ball Legursky is going to be taking on MVP this Saturday, July 19th, at Wrestling Under the Stars at Eastwood Field in Niles. What's kind of the rest of the year look like for you, man? As far as schedule wise, any other sort of big things on the horizon for you?
Actually, so this Saturday, Northeast Wrestling, Niles, Ohio. Then next Tuesday, a week from today, ISPW in Wildwood, New Jersey. I'm going to be taking on KTB, Kyle the Beast, but it's for ISPW Legends of Wrestling Convention. So it's going to be a show at the Wildwood Convention Center, but they're going to have legends such as Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Jake the Snake Roberts, Sergeant Slaughter, and some others there too. The Patriots going to be wrestling. So there's going to be it's going to be a huge show, a lot of people there. I'm wrestling for Rebel Spirit Pro Wrestling in Massachusetts, July 26th. And then, Rebel Spirit. We got Battlefield Pro Wrestling the last Sunday of every month. Northeast Wrestling, we have a show in Lebanon, Connecticut. There are two shows in Lebanon, Connecticut, July 27th, 12 p.m. and 4 p.m. The 26th is Rebel Spirit. The 25th is Test of Strength Wrestling in Windsor, Connecticut. NWA, and can't forget NWA. We're going to be in Long Island August 16th for the NWA 77. That is the anniversary show. So that's going to be special. And, I love it when the NWA comes up to the Northeast and it's within driving distance and I don't have to take a flight. Don't know what I'm doing on that one yet, but I am going to be there.
Nice, man. Nice, excellent. Well, so Wrecking Ball, if people want to follow you online, get in touch with you, man. Where can they find you?
Okay, so on Instagram, wrecking_ball_Legursky, and on X at Wrecking Ball 75.
Nice, man. Nice. Well, Wrecking Ball, hey, thank you so very much for the time today, man. Appreciate it. Once again, catch Wrecking Ball Legursky this Saturday, July 19th, as part of Northeast Wrestling's Wrestling Under the Stars event. That's at Eastwood Field, Niles. Show starts about 7:30. Wrecking Ball, thank you so much, man. We'll see you this weekend.
No problem. Thank you very much. Have a great day.